G'day guys, I'm Kuszla from Eastern Barbell Strength & Co. In today's video we're going to look at the lower cross syndrome. So what the lower cross syndrome is basically is one of two cross syndromes. It was first sort of culminated together through Dr. Vladimir Yanda, and he put together basically all these different ideas into one simple concept that he labelled the upper and lower cross syndrome. So basically what that is muscular imbalances within our body that are stopping us from performing optimally and also causing some degree of pain and tightness, and basically how to overcome that. So in this video we're going to look at basically what is causing that pain and what it is, so that we know exactly what we are dealing with and ways in which you can deal with that. So to begin with, if you are someone who has experienced lower back pain when you're standing up for long periods of time, or maybe you might be driving in the car, sitting down and you're feeling pain as well. If you're then going and training as well and doing things like deadlifts and squats, high repetitions, high amounts of weight, and then afterwards your lower back is really cooked, chances are you're not doing yourself any favours, especially if you're deadlifting wrong. So if you're not actually engaging a lot of hamstring and glute in that movement and you're relying heavily on your lower back, it can really make the problem a lot worse. So some other things that we're looking at, as we said just before, standing for long periods of time. So basically the reason that your lower back gets sore when you're standing for long periods of time, if we have a look at the diagram up here, basically we've got the diagram here, and the way that the cross syndrome works is basically it works opposing. So where we've got weak muscles, the opposing muscle according to the cross is also weak. The tight muscles are paired with tight muscles as well. So namely in the lower body, what we're talking about here is the rotation of the pelvis. So the pelvis is rotating forward. It's often known as an anterior pelvic tilt. And what causes that? So we've got weak abdominals. So basically the abdominals help brace the rib cage and the pelvis. So they basically pull those two together and hold it where it should be. When the abdominals become weak, coupled with weak glutes as well, we get this forward rotation. Also caused through tight rectus femoris and iliopsoas. So those are the muscles of the hip flexor and also the big muscles of the quads. So those pull down on the pelvis and help rotate it forward. And then we get the tight muscles of the lower back, so the erector spinae. And what happens is when that pelvis tilts forward, it puts undue stress onto your lower back. So to compensate, you often, you wouldn't be standing leaning forward, you'd stand more upright, but your pelvis is still tilted forward. So you're exaggerating this curve in the lower spine, which then over time starts to hurt. So what do we do to sort of combat this? Well, basically it's trying to reverse this. Okay, so we've got to strengthen the weak muscles. So the weak muscles being the abdominals and the glutes. We've got to stretch the tight areas as well. So the tight muscles being the iliopsoas, so the hip flexors, and the rectus femoris, so the big muscles of the quads. Also the lower back. So we've got to stretch out the lower back. So as we said before, things like deadlifting, especially if you're doing it wrong, and anything where it's back intensive, especially lower back, is going to tighten that muscle up much more, and it's just not going to serve you. So what I recommend you do before your training is address these problems if you are finding symptoms of this, and start to stretch out the muscles that are tight. So that's lower back, the quads and the hip flexors, and start to work at incorporating exercises which strengthen up the glutes and also the abdominals. So things like the glutes, like lunges, single leg lunges, are really good. That's going to help strengthen up the glutes. For your abdominals, you want to be doing things that cause your body to have to brace itself. So we're not really too concerned at this point with crunching or anything that, we're not looking at the six-pack abs, we're looking at the muscles that are underneath, so the ones that actually hold us in good posture. So we want to be doing things that require us to brace. So things like plank holds or even suitcase carries is another really good one. Grab yourself a weight, pick it up in one hand and just basically go for a walk. Work up to a heavy weight that allows you to stay upright for roughly 20-30 meters at a time on each hand, and do that regularly, and you'll find that it will strengthen up all the muscles throughout the core. So I hope that helped. In the next video we're going to be looking at the upper cross syndrome. So there's the same sort of pattern that happens in the upper body, and we're going to look to address that in the next video.